Hello. Can you guys hear me? Okay. So on behalf of the entire family, thank you so much for coming. We're going to be about an hour here, and we're going to start off with a couple announcements, and then we're going to be followed with just some housekeeping things. And then Angus will come up and do the eulogy, and then there's some great music coming up and a bit of a slideshow. So the washrooms are just out the back to the right. Shortly after, there's going to be some fellowship in the hall that we hope you guys can all join us for. Okay? Sounds good. Angus? Oh, and Debbie would like everyone to phone her. No, sorry. Please silence your cell phones. Good point. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Angus, Louise's oldest son. I didn't have to say that because I was just telling them, as I looked out, I said, I think I could name almost every person in here, so that doesn't work. When I think of my mom, I picture her in her element, playing a game of cards, a Blue Jays game playing in the background, and a twinkle in her eye as she's plotting her next move. That captures an image so much of who she was: fun-loving, determined, fiercely loyal to the people and passion she loved. Mom lived a rich and full life, and today we want to share some of her story with you. She was born in the log house on the family farm in Brightview, Alberta on March 1st, 1931, and grew up there along with her younger brother John and sister Marie. She graduated from Wetaskiwin High School in 1849, and due to a shortage of teachers, she immediately got a job in Codesa, Alberta, supervising correspondence courses. She went back to the University of Alberta from 1951 to 52 to take education. In 1952, she got a job teaching in Clark School near Bonanza. It was there that she met and married my dad, Jack Sutherland. They farmed in the Bay Tree area, and remember they were involved in starting the Bonanza Curling Club. We have great memories of whist and card parties at the Bay Tree Hall, Dad's baseball games, visiting with relatives, and taking meals out to the fields during harvest. We had one of the few TVs in the area, so we often got visitors on the weekends to watch Hockey Night in Canada, Beverly Hillbillies, Ed Sullivan, etc. She taught in Bonanza from 1957 to 1968. After those early years in Bonanza, Mom's life shifted when she and Dad moved to Grand Prairie, a move that opened the door to new friendships and opportunities. She upgraded a GPRC while teaching elementary school at Harry Belfer until she retired in 1984. She made lifelong friends at Harry Belfer, some of whom visited her in the hospital and brightened her final days. Our family lived in the Avondale area when we moved to Grand Prairie, and Mom cultivated a close group of friends with the neighbors. Teaching wasn't just Mom's career, it was her calling. She believed in firm but loving discipline, and she never gave up on her old school ideals. When I first followed her into teaching, and later her grandson Tyler, she gave us both the same advice. Be tough for the first few weeks of the year so the students know who's boss. She believed deeply in the power of learning, especially mastering the basics like math facts and multiplication tables. Mom always had a love of travel, and two of her favorite holiday locations were Fairmont Hot Springs in BC and Florence, Arizona. She and Dad made a point of taking an annual summer holiday, starting in a tent, quickly moving to a truck and camper, and eventually upgrading to a motorhome. We enjoyed many camping trips all over Canada and the US, sometimes joined by our cousins, the Batemans and the Sutherlands, where we usually cleared out a corner of the Fairmont pool by being rowdy and performing many spectacular belly flops. Isn't that right, Dave? Our kids and grandchildren have so many wonderful memories of Grandma, of camping, playing games and cards in the motorhome, jumping in the pool, and learning to swim in Fairmont. She made 2 trips to Australia, Fiji, and Hawaii, one with Dad, and once when she went to visit Doug when he was in an agriculture exchange program in Western Australia. They traveled to Alaska with the Batemans, Disneyland with the Krauses, and many more memorable places. After retirement, they bought a park model in Florence, Arizona, where they spent over 25 winters. They encouraged some of their friends and relatives to join them there and had a very active social life with what became their second family and second home. They loved to have visitors and tour them all over to see the area. Dad passed away in 2008, but Mom continued to drive down on her own for a few more years. She eventually bought a vehicle there so she could fly there instead of making the long drive on her own. COVID brought an end to her trip south. Mom was a lifelong sports fan. Whether she was curling or golfing or cheering on her kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids at their games. She was part of the Teachers Curling League and entered many bonspiels, and we've heard stories about the fun and shenanigans that she had. She was the organizer of the seniors golf leagues in Morningview Park, Pipestone, and DeBolt golf courses for many years. One of her major sources of pride was being lead organizer and participant of the Torch Trek for the Alberta Senior Summer Games in 1968. 4 grandmas carried the torch on foot from Camrose to Grand Prairie, and it was a major accomplishment for them. Everyone knew never to call her during a Jays game. She proudly had these socks on her door. Do not disturb watching the Jays. As a matter of fact, we were kind of worried about a potential 5th game today. But fortunately, they booted the hated Yankees Wednesday night. She was, all right. She was fiercely loyal to her team and even watched the games on her iPad in the hospital right to the very end. Besides the Jays, she had a personal sports favorites. Local curler Carter Rycroft with Kevin Martin and Kevin Cooey as they curled in their Brier and Olympic journeys, and Tiger Woods in golf. But she had the other side too. She had those that she didn't like as much, like Jennifer Jones in ladies curling, and John Morris, who she thought was a know-it-all in men's curling. She was quite torn when Carter and John curled together. She had a love of art and painted many oil paintings, most of them mountain or desert scenes. And they have been shared out to her family and friends as keepsakes. We also have many crocheted items, doilies, runners, and tablecloths that she crafted over the years. Mom also had a love of animals, particularly horses. But she also loved all of her grand dogs and cats, and they loved her. Our last dog's name was her computer password. No matter where Mom lived, she loved it. She spent many years in her condo at the chateau and gained some close friends there. She lived her last years at the Lakeview Lodge in Claremont and was so happy there. She loved everything about it, her apartment, the other residents, the staff, the food, the cards, games and activities, the music and dancing. She had some special friends that she played cards with in the evenings. She introduced a card game there that they used to play in Arizona called 65. It has become a regular scheduled game there now, and she loved that. The day after Mom passed away, a group of 65 players were seen joining hands and saying a prayer for her. Card games were one of Mom's greatest joys. She taught us, many of her grandchildren and great-grandchildren, how to play spite and malice. Right, Marie? And crib, never giving out freebies. If you beat her, you earned it. After her passing, her great-grandsons, Graham and Ewan, were having a little disagreement about which of them played cards with her more when they knew that Liam actually did. Because every time she came over to her house, there were 2 decks of cards dug out and space was cleared on the table. Eventually, Graham settled the argument. Who cares? Who wants to be bullied by a 90-year-old anyways? Another of her favorite games was solitaire, which she played on her computer. You could hear the ping on the phone as you talked to her. Her playful rivalry with her sister Marie even extended to online solitaire, where they competed for top scores every day. Mom had a great sense of humor, loved to tease and be teased. She could dish it out, but she could also take it. Some of the things she has said or done have made us laugh out loud, but we can't share them because they're not appropriate for all audiences. Mom was resilient. She overcame many health issues during her lifetime. Open heart surgery at a young age, 3 totally unrelated cancers, and triumphed over them all through sheer determination. She carried this right through to the end of her life. When she told us she was ready to go, she single-mindedly willed it to happen, and quickly. We want to give a big thank you out to all of our family who rallied around Grandma, bringing her food, flowers, and trying to keep her spirits up by showering her with hugs and kisses and affirmation of their love. Also thanks to her nieces and nephews who visited so often and gave us and her their support. To Marie and Art, John and Dorothy for the calls and love. To some of Earl Harry Bell for co-workers that came often. Also her friends from Lakeview who visited her, and just anyone who took time to come and see her. You lifted her spirits and always commented on how much she always appreciated it. She mentioned several times near the end about how much love she felt, and you were the contributors to that. We also want to thank all the nurses and staff at Unit 12 in the hospital who cared for Mom lovingly. A special thanks to Dr. Noga and Dr. Ingram, who Mom referred to as her sweeties. They took such great care of Mom over the years. Mom taught us so much, not just in classrooms, but through the way she lived her life with strength, humor, and love. As we say goodbye, we carry her lessons with us, knowing that she left us better for having known her.
Thank you, Angus. That was awesome. And now we're going to have one of Louise's favorite hymns sung by Janelle and Dwayne Larson. Janelle Dingledine and Dwayne Larson.
Oh
On behalf of everyone here, thank you so much. That was beautiful. And now we're going to have a video that was prepared by Tyler and Christine of just some memories from over the years of all the family memories. We're also going to have an open mic after, so sometimes a video will spur some memories for people. So anyone who would like to come up and share some stories about Louise, I'm sure there's a couple funny ones out there. Like Angus said, not all are appropriate, so she'd laugh privately though. So thank you.
Gonna take a sentimental journey. Gonna set my heart at ease. Gonna make a sentimental journey to renew old memories. Got my bag, got my reservation. Spend each dime I could afford. Like a child in wild anticipation, I long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Never thought my heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? I gotta take this sentimental journey, sentimental journey home. My heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? I gotta take this sentimental journey, sentimental journey home, sentimental journey home, sentimental journey home.
The stars shining bright above you. The night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me. say nighty-night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you miss me, while I'm alone and blue as can be. Dream a little dream of me. A star's fading, but I linger on, dear, still craving your kiss. I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear, just saying this. Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave all worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on, dear, still craving your kiss. I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear, just saying this. Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave all worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of, dream a little dream of, dream a little dream of me. Dream a little dream of me.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright blessed days, dark sacred nights. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the skies, also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies crying. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Unforgettable. you are. Unforgettable, though near or far, like a song of love that clings to me. How the thought of you does things to me. Never before has someone been more unforgettable. In every way, and forevermore, that's how you'll stay. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too.
Thanks, Tyler and Christine. That was awesome. So now we'll turn it over if anybody has some stories that they'd like to come up and share about Louise.
Good afternoon, and thank you for coming today to celebrate the life of Louise Sutherland. Today is a difficult and emotional day, but one which is filled with happy memories, laughter, and love for an amazing woman. I would also like to thank you for being here to support the families, to show your respects, and seeing so many family, extended family, and friends is a true testimony to the lives that she touched. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Yvonne Harrison. Uncle Jack and my mom, Caroline, were brother and sister, making me Auntie Louise's favorite niece. Oh, wait a minute. Did I just read that? I tell you, Surrey doesn't get this whole dictation thing, and she makes up her own sentences. What it should be is one of her many nieces. I was very fortunate to spend a lot of time with the family on their farm in Baytree, the teacherage in Bonanza, their home in Arizona, and their home here in Grand Prairie, where there was heaps of fun, laughter, love, and shenanigans. Auntie Louise wasn't simply my aunt. In essence, she was just one of many second moms who enriched my life with unconditional love, sarcasm, and wisdom. Thank God I had so many, as I needed every one of them. Just ask my sister. Throughout her life, she demonstrated that being an aunt wasn't merely about family obligations. Rather, it was about creating a special bond that bridged generations. She had a personality that would fill a room, not because she was boisterous. It was her quick wit, her mischievous smile, and the way she could turn any moment into something memorable. She had a knack for telling jokes and a laugh that made you laugh too, even if you didn't get the joke right away. She was the kind of aunt who let you get away with a little bit more than your parents did, but taught you something in the process. Her humor was playful, sometimes cheeky, but always kind. She had a way of delivering advice wrapped in sarcasm and warmth, so you'd laugh, then you'd think about it, and then you'd realize she was right. Whether we were watching curling or baseball, chatting on the phone about people, or laughing at the same joke for the 100th time, her presence always made my life a little lighter. She wasn't afraid to speak her mind, but she always chose moments with care. And when she did speak seriously, you listened because you knew there was wisdom behind that sparkle in her eyes. She didn't take herself too seriously, but she took people seriously. She cared about how you felt, what you were going through, and just how she could help without making a big show of it. She made you feel seen just by paying attention in her own unique way. She taught me to laugh at myself, to find joy in ordinary things, and to never underestimate the power of a well-timed eye roll, which we did quite often. Her lessons weren't always direct, but they stayed with me. She lived her life with a blend of mischief and meaning, and somehow that made every memory shine brighter. Her loss feels like losing the soundtrack to an amazing time. The world is quieter now without her one-liners, her raised eye rolls, and the little inside jokes only she could remember. But her spirit, it's still here. Still part of me, still part of you. Still showing up in my humor, my outlook, and the way I try to face life with both honesty and heart. Auntie Louise, you fought a good fight, and you won on your own terms. You left a legacy that will be read through the generations, current and yet to come. You left a mark in all our hearts that nothing will ever erase. So today, I smile through tears. I honor her not with silence, but with laughter, not with P's and Q's, but with warmth, because that's what she brought into the world. I'll carry her voice in my memories, her humor and laughter in my heart, and her wisdom in the choices I make. She may be gone, but she's never far away. When a joke lands right, or there needs to be that famous eye roll. Auntie Louise, my love for you will remain forever, and I truly miss you.
Thank you, Yvonne. Is there anyone else? I could echo Yvonne's words that she was a master of hard truths. She was good at telling you what you needed to hear. But unfortunately, I met her shortly after she heard about reflexology and committed her degree. And she got a hold of me with those hands as a ball player. And when she buried her thumb into my foot, it was I've been through some things that hurt, and I swear her bottom jaw was sticking out. And she asked me about my hips. And I said, I don't think it's my hips, but it's my foot. Yeah. But Yeah, she was a pretty awesome lady. So, is there anyone else? Oh, here's Teresa.
I too experienced those hands on my hands or on my feet, so I do understand. Yvonne, you were right. You were the favorite niece, and it's okay. And I told Clay at first that I wasn't going to say anything, but I really feel compelled to say a few things. I am Marie's daughter, and so I'm the only niece on the Rossiter side of the family, to Auntie Louise and to that side of the family. And so I had a tumultuous relationship with my auntie, I think, through my early years. And I often would say to Mom, like, why does Auntie Louise not like me? And she's like, well, there was this time when we went to the coast and you were squealing because the crabs were biting your toes, and it really drove her crazy. And so I always knew that she was my auntie. She came to visit Grandma. Grandma lived with us, and she would come on Grandma's birthday, and she always brought a gift for Aaron because Aaron and Grandma shared a birthday. But I never could, as a little child, never could understand why she liked Aaron, but she didn't like me. But that all changed when I was about 14. And we took a trip to Alaska with Mom and Dad and Aaron and I and Auntie Louise and Uncle Jack. We were in our car driving behind the motorhome, and we were all sleeping in the motorhome. And so I was 14, let me put that into context. So the last place I wanted to be was in a motorhome with my aunt and uncle, my brother, and my parents driving to Alaska. But we actually had a great time, and it kind of all turned around when I started poking fun at her. And Uncle Jack and her would sleep in the top bunk up above the driver. And Uncle Jack was always in bed first. And so I was sleeping on the bed, and I had to wait till Mom and her were done playing cards to go to bed, because that's where I got to sleep. And so I started teasing Auntie Louise. And so I would yell, "Watch out, Uncle Jack, here she comes," when she'd get herself up onto that bunk, and we'd giggle and so on. Well, it all came back at me, because we were in this campground, and we went to the shower stalls to go and have a shower, and Auntie Louise and I happened to be there at the same time. And as I'm in this shower, now picture this, 14-year-old, I'm in the shower, and the tap literally comes off the wall and starts spraying water all over the shower. And so anyway, she helped me get into her stall, and she took care of getting that managed. And well, it became Terry tore the tap off, because that's what everybody called me, Terry. And so she incessantly teased me about being Terry tore the tap off. Well, in recent years, it's been an absolute joy to be able to take Mom and Dad, some years, and Mom other years, to visit Auntie Louise at Christmas time and play cards. And I did get to play Spite and Malice this last year, and I beat her, and she wasn't very happy about it. But I was quite thrilled, I can tell you. And it'll be a pleasure to play that in her memory, because it was one of her favorite games, and she was ruthless at it. But the memory that I will carry always is our last FaceTime call when I'm with Mom in Edmonton in the hospital, and she wasn't able to see her sister in the last few weeks. And the two of them saying goodbye to each other was an absolutely priceless moment. And she assured us, she asked Mom, "When are you going home?" And Mom said, "I think tomorrow." Optimistically, Mom said. And Auntie Louise said, "I'm going home tonight." And she was gone by 6 a.m. the next day. And that is what I will remember, is her absolute love of life. And when she said something, it bloody well happened. And I don't know what she had to do to make it happen, but she had a portal, and she was gone, and she did that. And I'll always remember her in my deep heart, and her beautiful family. So thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Is there anyone else? So we're going to close off with which one? Oh, okay. So when Jack passed away, we decided that Louise decided it would be best to put a mountain ash tree in our yard in memory of Jack, and we sprinkled some ashes there. And as we finished up, Louise said, you know, I think I want a tree right in your yard next to him. I wonder what kind of tree it should be, though. And I said, well, that would have to be a crabapple tree for you. So when they were cleaning up her things, they found where she had a handwritten will that said, don't forget my tree. So she was I always admired what a realist she was, but she did secretly praise and love everyone in her life. So here's Tyler and Christine.
I want to lie and say I'll be useful here, but I'll be crying, so.
He was supposed to do it, and we were like, let's be real, which one of us can actually talk? So I'll use this opportunity just for a quick open mic as well, because I did want to say, just back to this table keeps reminding me of like all of our family dinners with the tablecloth, with the crocheted doily over top of it, and how every single family occasion it would get peeled back for a game of cards, and it didn't matter if dinner was ready. You had to wait till the game of cards was done before supper could be served. And I just remember so many times, specifically Ethan and Liam, the moments when they could beat her. Just like the whole house knew it. Everybody knew the pride on their faces because she was not going down without a fight. Speaking of, 3 days before Louise passed, we were in the hospital, and Tyler was speaking with her, and we were just asking her, like, just praying with her and just, you know, trying to comfort her. And she let us know that she had the song One Day at a Time stuck in her head, that one day at a time, sweet Jesus, was just stuck in her head over and over. And so it was just so fitting that when she decided she was ready to go, it was one day. She had asked, and she just made her arrangement with Jesus, and it was one more day. So I will say this prayer. Tyler did help write it, but he will not be able to speak it. All right, if you bow your heads with me. God, we thank you for the life of Louise, for her strength, her wit, her independence, and her deep love of family and friends. Thank you for the many years she was given and for the impact she had on everyone around her as a mother, a grandmother, a teacher, and a friend. We're grateful for her laughter, her stubborn determination, her competitive spirit, and her example in living life fully, whether she was teaching the classroom, cheering on the Blue Jays, or playing cards with grandkids or friends. Today we ask for your peace for all who are missing her. May we honor her by carrying forward the same strength, courage, loyalty, and love of life that she showed every day, and may we celebrate her memory every time we win a game of cards. We are thankful for all the family and friends gathered to remember Louise's life, and pray that as we grieve her loss, all will be comforted. Thank you for the gift of her presence in our life, and for the memories that will stay with us always. In your name we pray. Amen.
Okay, so this will be the end of the service, and thanks for everyone for being here. We're going to have some sandwiches and stuff in the hall across the way. I'm told they're the upgraded sandwiches. So. There's also some crib boards and cards in there if people would like to play cards. Okay, so thank you very much. Oh, don't run away though. We have
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what?